The morning light caressed Krishna's face, and he woke up admiring the orange hue in the valley. A raindrop gently trickled from the glass window. Today was the day of the holy festival. Krishna prepared himself a cup of tea. He walked to the balcony of his room and admired the view. Long stretches of fields, farmers at work, and the majestic Himalayas in the distance. It had cost him a fortune, this house. An arched roof, a beautiful white facade, a lush garden, and wooden paneling inside. Quite ironical then that he spent all his time in the wooden cabin upstairs as if the house did not exist. The festivals were different. They made him feel like a man of the world. At one with his material possessions, his pain, and the spiritual joy that danced in his heart. He took a shower, got dressed in a white pajama kurta, and walked out of the house. Before starting his walk to the town, he paused to admire his house. He marveled at the pain he endured to acquire money, the countries he worked in, the setbacks he endured. Did it really mean anything now? Yes, it did. It meant that he embraced the world completely, its pleasures and its pain. He moved swiftly on the narrow gravel path that cut across his farm. In the distance, he saw a figure running towards him. It was his servant. Beside him, in a thin frame and a colorful gagra, was his daughter, a teenager. Her skin was dark, eyes submissive, with a certain restlessness in them. "Sahib, happy Holi," they said. "Happy Holi," he replied, and handed them money. "Dhanyavad, Sahib," his servant said, and put a dash of color on Krishna's white robes. As they parted ways, the girl smiled. Awkwardly at Krishna, he smiled back a wry smile. His footsteps on the gravel made a crunching sound. He looked at the time in his watch. It was noon. It would take him 2 hours to cross the valley and reach the town. The stone pathway gradually gave way to a dusty road. The scenery was beautiful. A gentle stream cut through the valley and filled it with a soft humming sound. Far in the distance, on both sides, stood the mountains, majestic and tall. Lush green was spread everywhere, and small cottages dotted next to the pathway. A temple stood in the distance on the hill, and its bells chimed every half hour or so. Momentarily, Krishna let the experience of oneness overcome him. His every sense gradually got lost, consumed. The light giggles of the water, chatter of people passing by, and his own steady footsteps. His breath moved in a smooth rhythm, and he felt its every ebb and flow. The birds sang crisp notes, and many fragrances of flowers floated in the air. An hour passed. A sense of fatigue came over Krishna. He was well past 50 years now. Grey hair stretched long on his shoulders. His unkempt beard had many traces of white. His tall, lean frame and steady walk resonated vitality. His breath was heavier now, and so were his thoughts. The cheerful look of the mountains was gone. They were sad and brooding. Years of watching, all the emotions that lived in the valley took its toll on them. The patches of snow were not a shining garment now, but a balm on their bruised spirit. Krishna's mood colored everything. Even the stream sang sad notes. The road became uphill, and Krishna kept walking a steady pace. At the top of the mountain road, the town became visible. From the clearing between trees, Krishna saw the temple in the town center. Throngs of people were milling around, dressed in white, with colors splattered all over them. A procession of men walked around, playing drums. In the temple, the central bells rang out loud as the priests sang hymns.